Welcome back to Alchemy Factory, everybody. Where we last left off, we were up here setting up our new thermal extractor lines. Way up here, 17 floors above the ground. Okay, because these thermal extractors get a bonus, I went over it in the last episode. They get a bonus for being built at a certain height. And I just kind of jotted down how much we're producing out of each one. I basically just built 5 machines for each of the liquids we've currently got unlocked and able to be produced. So, for instance, we've got lime water right here. We're producing 216,000 lime water per minute. And the way it breaks down is each of these machines here makes 43,200 of them, 43,200 lime water, and we've got 5 builds doing that. And I haven't connected them all, like they're not connected because I haven't turned them on. Basically, I haven't connected them to fuel yet. I think that's the only thing they're waiting on, is fuel for all of them. I'm fairly certain I've got. Yeah, they're waiting on fuel. So they're connected except for fuel, because I don't have a need for them, and I didn't want to burn all the fuel unnecessarily. But anyways, today we're going to tackle a new project. Actually, we might have time to do 2. I was looking at these, and we're building up. So we've got a couple of things to. Our ultimate goal for this quest. We have a quest for, is to get the blast potions so we can unlock level 8, right? And we need blast potions to make Venus. That's our next relic. So we'll have to get to blast potions to be able to make the relics, and thus that's a little more complicated. Those are going to be complicated builds, but I think what's going to be pretty easy today is sulfuric acid to make Topaz. It's a new liquid. And lavender essential oil to make perfumed soap. Let's start with the sulfuric acid to make Topaz, okay? So Topaz is made, I don't know that I'm going to make it up here, but I'm just going to kind of get an idea. I've got a nice little flat spot right here of what all we need. So I've got alembic set up for like demonstration. So oh shoot, I'm getting ahead of myself. We need to unlock them first before we can proceed. So sulfuric acid is made in an alembic, and the lavender essential oil is made in an alembic. So this is a thermal extractor. I was just using to test things here. All right, we don't need that, but it kind of give us an idea. I've got a couple of alembics here. Once we unlock these recipes, we'll set them up and see what all our numbers are. All right, so there's the sulfuric acid, and Topaz is done researching. So let's see what we need to craft these. All right, so Topaz is made in a blender, of course, and we need sulfuric acid and crude shards. Okay, sulfuric acid is made in an alembic, and it uses sulfur powder and brine. All right, there's our lavender essential oil, and then we're going to research the soap as well. I think we got time to do them both today. So lavender essential oil is made at the alembic. It's going to use linseed oil, and oh my gosh, quite a lot of it, I might add, along with lavender to get our lavender essential oil. And then once the soap is done researching, we can see what we need. Just a couple more seconds. See what we need to craft that in the blender here. All right, so Topaz here. Crude shards are made in an athanor as well, although there is an easier way to make them. I have gone into the menu here, and if for whatever reason it just says it's crafted at an athanor, or you can make it at a refiner by refining fully refined sand. That's a bit of a pain. Either of these ways are a bit of a pain. I've tried them both. Essentially, you take sand, you run it through a refiner, you get refined sand. You run it through another refiner, like 7 of them or so, to finally get crude shards out of sand. It's excruciatingly takes a long time. It's very, very, very slow. However, if we just take quartz ore and put it in a stone crusher, we get crude shards. So I think moving forward, that's how I'm going to start making my diamonds. We were making them as a byproduct from our malachite production, But I think, now that I've realized this is going to be a lot faster. So, let's get an idea of what we need for that. We're not going to use an alembic. We're just going to use a stone crusher. And we're going to put in the ore, which I don't have any on me to test. But that is going to produce... I'll have to check the numbers. I would like to put one in just to kind of see the numbers, but we'll check that in a minute. So that's going to produce our crude shards. And then sulfuric acid is going to be made at our alembic. And it is made using sulfur powder, which is just going to be... We've got a build for that. Sulfur powder is just sulfur run through a grinder. And then brine, we've already got up here. This is our brine set up right here. We're making 36,000 per minute currently. We can always build more. All we would really have to do is take the blueprint that we've already got saved. Or ideally, what I think I am going to do when I need it is I'm just going to like copy 5 of these machines at once. That sort of thing. And then build 5 more over here. I may adjust my pipes, that sort of thing. I just kind of put them here, and now that I've got them here, I don't like them. Now that I've got everything and I'm trying to move around, I would ideally like these pipes to run up higher along the ceiling so that I can walk underneath them. But anyways, I did set these up so we can build these pretty much anywhere, and you literally just take a pipe, connect it to the end, and then yeet yourself off the building. It works. It's a little crazy, but it works. And it'll drag it all the way to wherever you land at. And then you can go to any particular floor, wherever you want it, and set it up there. Is our soap done? Our soap is done. I've been busy yapping here. So, sulfur powder is just sulfur in with a grinder. So sulfur is made in a iron smelter. You get iron as a byproduct of that. I've shown that before. We've built it before. I've got a setup downstairs running that. So that is our sulfuric acid. It uses 3,600 a minute, and we're producing 36,000. So we've got plenty. We could run 10 alembics off of this. So we could be producing up to 12,000 sulfuric acid per minute, which means we could be producing we could be feeding up to 20 blenders worth, which would make 400 a minute, something like that. We're not going to be making that much. We don't need that much. I don't see a need for it. We're going to start small, and as we need it, we'll work our way up. But anyways, lavender essential oil. Well, as you might have guessed, it's made from lavender. So that's just literally a nursery. We stick growth potions in this. We get 60 a minute. Pretty easy. Well, actually, at our speeds, we're getting 180 a minute because we've got the upgrades maxed out for our logistics efficiency, factory efficiency should shoot out 180 a minute on those, but the math works out all the same. And then we need linseed oil, quite a lot of it, 24,000, but we are making 300, and I don't know if you guys can see that, 360,000 linseed oil a minute. I'm not going to sit down and do the math and tell you how much of this we could make with one setup, but it's a lot. It's a lot. And then we just feed in lavender, linseed oil, and then we get the lavender extract, send it to this machine. This might be a little more complicated. What do we need here? So our lavender essential oil comes in. Oh, we've got to add soap powder. So we'll get to build a new soap build, and I've wanted to do that because our soap build is so, well, it looks tiny from up here, but it's a mess. It's a big, well, it's not a mess. It's kind of decent and organized. It just takes up a lot of space. So let me work on the math. Let me set down some more machines and kind of get a feel for how all the numbers and the math adds up. I don't actually need this chamomile. I put it up here when I was testing everything, but we don't need it. I digress. Let's kind of set everything up. We'll get a soap line. I guess I'm going to have to redesign my soap because it looks like I'm going to need... what's the base speed on that? We're doing 4x, so 30 a minute. We're going to need 30 a minute soap per blender. I don't know how much of this perfume soap we're going to need. It does look like it sells for a decent amount of money, so we'll just be putting it in the storefront. Actually, I could check and see if it's used in any other recipes. It is used to make perfume soap powder, but that's not really anything. It's just going to be grinding it. So yeah, we'll just set up a blueprint for this, set down a couple machines, get some things going, and I need to start firing up at least 2 of these lines because we're going to need linseed oil and brine. So let me go ahead and fuel the linseed oil line and the brine and get them set up, and I should have everything ready to go. I literally should just have to plug in my fuel source in, and that should get going. Let me go around on the other side. This is a little... I want to say dangerous, but there's no fall damage. Oh no, that was the wrong machine. This is my brine right here. Oops. There we go. I could probably just actually disconnect this if I could get up. Yeah, I definitely got to redo these lines, these pipes. So let's get rid of one of those. And now we need to turn on our linseed oil line, which is this one right here. And all I've got to do to this one is connect. It doesn't take fuel. It takes, so it's got coins coming in. I mean, it's got fertilizer coming in, so it's ready. Oh, it does need fuel. It needs fuel on the other side, doesn't it? No. What is it? I gotta put... Oh, yeah, I do need fuel. What am I talking about? Yeah, I gotta feed fuel in right here. So I set it all up. All I have to do is connect the belt. Just make sure I get it in the right spot going out there. Take my fuel from there. And that should start turning on all of these stone furnaces. There we go. That looks good. I've got black powder in my inventory. I'm just going to like try and toss it in a couple of these because I don't need it hanging around. All right, that's got all of our linseed oil up and running. Now we can take this stuff anywhere we want. And like I said, I've already got it downstairs. Let me delete this stuff up here, and we'll go downstairs and start building. So yeah, let's get down, and we got everything turned on that we need so far. Let's just get down and start building. Yeet! And here we are. So all we really have to do now is take... Oh, I don't remember which pipe it is. I can inspect them to see what each one is producing. So that one's making lime water. This one's making brine. This one's making linseed oil. And so this one is going to be the fruit line. So what we essentially need is this one for our linseed. And I'm just going to put like a visual marker. If it'll let me. Like that. So I know I need that one. And the brine, I know I need that one. And that'll let me know exactly which one I need to pull from. We've got plenty of space right here. There's no reason we can't use this space. And we're going to set up soap. So I think one of the first things I'll do is redesign my soap line and get that set up to be a little more compact, a little neater. Or actually, we should do the topaz. Let's focus on one thing at a time. Let's just do the topaz. Yeah. All right, this is what I've got for the topaz. Essentially, we've got... This is how the math works out. Our grinders here are I say iron smelters. This is my base speed sulfur powder. It produces 10 a minute. We're running at 4x, so it's 40 a minute for each of these builds. I've got 3 of them, so that is 120 per minute. That's 1 belt's worth of sulfur powder coming out. It's essentially, we just feed the pyrite in back here. We get the sulfur into a splitter, a filter splitter. It's going to come out on the top and get ground into sulfur powder. And then the bottom is going to be our byproduct of our iron ingots. We're just going to dump it in the trash for now. I don't have a use for iron ingots right this minute up here. So we're just going to dump it in the trash for now. I'm probably just going to feed fuel in from right here for each of these machines. I could run it around, but the way I designed the trash cans, it might just be easier to do it this way and leave a gap in between each one. And that's going to feed fuel for each of these blast furnaces. So 120 a minute sulfur powder coming out of that. That's going to feed 2 alembics for our sulfuric acid because they require 60 a minute. So we'll just take 1 belt out of both of those machines, split it off into these 2, and we're good to go. We will have to take one of our pipes out of here. I believe this one is our brine, and snap it in. Doesn't really matter how we do the pipes. I would like them to look a little decent. And actually, I may do a little bit of work on how to make these pipes not be in the way. They're actually good at that height level they're at right now. And then I just run them at a higher altitude, so to speak, across like the sky, so that they're not on the ground in my way and I have to jump over them. Because unlike conveyor belts, you can't walk over the pipes. You can walk over conveyor belts and that'll get in your way, but not the pipes. Anyways, so we'll feed in our brine. We'll get 1,200 each, which is 2,400 sulfuric acid out of that. It's the only way the math works, because these produce 40 a minute, and these are asking for 60. So we had to get a number divisible by both. So it's 120. And then that is going to feed 4 blenders at 600 a minute sulfuric acid. So remember, we're producing 24, so 24 divided by 6 is 4. So we need 4 blenders, and that's going to produce, at our current speeds, at base speed, it's 5 a minute Topaz, but at our current speeds, that's going to be 20 a minute each. So that's 80 total per minute on this line. Now I just have to kind of join it all together and make it look a little decent. And I was hoping I could put the blenders on this right here, but we need 4 blenders, so it's not going to quite sit that way. Although there's probably something we could do. I wonder if we could stack, oops, wrong button. If we could stack blenders with a lab stand, will a lab stand fit over blenders? They will not. What about the metal stand? Oh gosh, that doesn't fit either. Maybe if I did 2 and 2. Let me try that. Lab stand still doesn't want to snap over it. Let's try a metal stand. That should work, right? Oh, you know why? I bet it's not going to work because it needs the pipes. Okay. Okay, well, that was a cool idea, but it's not... Oh, actually, there's still something we could do. We could use 2 metal stands like that. Take our blenders and put them on the metal stands. And just use this, copy this, and build it twice. And then so each one of these is feeding 2 blenders. Yeah. I think that'll work. All right, let's figure out the belting for this real quick. Let's take our fuel off of this line, and we can just run the same machine off of that same fuel line. That should work just fine. And now all we have to do is feed... Oh, they're like 1 square too high. I'd love to just feed them all in, but... let's just drop it to the floor. That's probably going to be the easiest way. And then run a belt over to here. Do the same thing right here. Is that going to leave me enough room? Yep, that should work. Feed it in from there, run this one over to there. We'll just pick these up, join the lines. I'm trying to connect 3 into 2, so actually it may be better just to put them right next to each other. Yeah. That's going to be how that needs to work. So I delete that, and then we just pick it up to get it to the correct height. Like that, and then this one can feed straight in. Although it will have to drop 1 square, won't it? That's, dang. Would have been nice if I didn't have to drop it, but just doesn't line up that way. Let's just put a lifter right here, pay it out at the bottom, take it from there, and then we just need to snap everything into each other. Like that. And then like that. And I also want this one to flow into that one. Yeah, that's what we want right there. That should be balanced. Now, we need to snap in our brine and then connect it all out here. So brine should be relatively easy. And I don't know exactly where I want to put this build. But the idea is going to be it's going to need fuel from the backside here. So we're going to have to take our fuel from off of this line. So I'm going to push it closer to here. But I don't know that I want it right underneath those lines. I don't guess it really matters. Let's do something like this. And let's double check these lines didn't snap into place. I don't want them connected yet. Okay, good. That looks good. Now our output from this is a pipe, so we're good. Yeah. a pipe. So we just need to take our brine. I'm actually going to run this the other direction. So let's run it back this way, just in case we need any other lines going forward. Let's run this one backwards. And we kind of want to get it right here, lined up with that. So if I look straight up, this is about where I want it. These can be a little bit tricky to line up, but the idea is you get this nice grid up above you, and it helps you really visualize it. I think that's where I want it, right there. Yep. And then we'll just drop it in. Oh, it's being difficult. The pipes can be difficult. That would have worked the way I had it a second ago, but I didn't like the look of it. Oh, I got a new skill point. Why didn't it snap in? There we go. And then just take this one, like, just the same way. There we go. Perfect. All right, that looks good. One line feeding it. It's not ideal, but we can always rework those later. Now we just need to take a pipe from that and feed it into these. And we need... Oh, that's right. I forgot. We need the crude shards. So we need 20, 40, 60, 80 crude shards a minute. And crude shards are just made in grinders. Let me go buy... well, no, I'll just set up purchasing portals. So I won't have to go buy it. Okay, I got an idea now. So we need 2 crushers for all 4 of these, because this crusher produces 40 crude shards per minute. Pretty easy, and these need 20. So 1 crusher will feed 2, so we'll just do something like we've done... Oh, wrong button. 100 times before. We will make a little... do I need that one? I don't think I need it that long. We'll just make our little stackable... 1... Come on, 1. Oh, it's saving. It won't build while I'm saving sometimes. Do that, and then hit T and rotate it to get these up above it. And then put this one on top. Now we've got them stacked. I don't even know that I want them stacked, to be honest. It probably, for this particular build, might be actually a little bit cleaner to just take them like that. Yeah. Yeah, I like that better, actually. Not the floor. Please don't delete the floor. I need an option in the game to not delete the floor, because one day I'm going to do it, and I'm going to be so irritated. Now I kind of regret tucking this into the corner, but it's fine. Let's just grab this whole thing, and we'll hit T to cut it. And yeah, none of that really matters. All we need is the output from that. We need to leave room for a purchasing portal back here. Something like that should work just fine. And what I think I'm going to do is take these 2 outputs, join them into one line, lift them. Want to go behind these lines. Actually, no, let's just go this way with it. Oh, I need to hit T to go the direction I want. Like that, turn it this way, and then raise it up. There, that took a little longer than it should have, but I got those connected now. All 4 of them are hooked up, and the only thing we need to do is feed in our crude shards, and they're just going to run like that. And then, wait, this one right here like that. And that's our Topaz. Put down a purchasing portal, and we're done. That's the end of day 188. I am kind of curious how much money we're making and spending now, because I haven't looked at this in quite some time. I've been kind of busy setting up builds and stuff and haven't really paid attention to it. We didn't have the store stocked with relics today, so we didn't make nearly as much money as we could have. Yeah, and it looks like we actually lost money today because we did not have the store stocked very well. Oops. Alright, now that our Topaz is up and running, it is spinning up, it's getting up to speed now. Let's work on this lavender. So we know we're going to need another alembic. We've already done all the math, and I've actually got a blueprint, a couple of blueprints to make this a little easier. So our lavender oil, this will make, what did I say this is? 900 a minute. Which at our speed is actually 1200 a minute. I might have wrote that down wrong. But essentially, we've got one nursery will feed into one alembic. When it's filled with growth potions, let me just pop some in. Yeah, they produce 240. I just want to make sure my math is right. And these intake 240, right? So one nursery with blast potions, or, I'm sorry, not blast potions, growth potions, excuse me, will feed one alembic. So we're going to have 3 to get our math the way we want it, because this is going to produce 1,200 each. And then we're going to need blenders, right? And we're also going to need, oh yeah, we need soap powder input as well. I'm a little bit out of stone. Let me grab some stone, restock on some materials. Let's finish this build and get our lavender soap up. All right, and here is our soap powder. It is also going to be fed with growth potions in the back for sage. That is going to be turning into the plant ash. That plant ash is going to come down through... I'm sorry, is that right? No, not plant ash. I got to set these recipes up. We want soap right here. Yes, it is plant ash. Excuse me. I had it right the first time. I just never set these recipes. All right, so that's going to be soap, which is then going to run plant ash and linseed oil is going to come into these 2 machines to make our soap. And then the soap is going to go through grinders and make soap powder. And then we just have to feed our soap powder out of these top machines here. We're going to get 80 a minute, so it's 160. That won't actually fit on one belt. We'll have to split it in 2 belts. But 160 a minute, and what we want coming into... Oh, that's our final build to make the soap. So that is for the blender. Let me put down our blenders just to make sure we got everything right here. Blender set to lavender soap here. All right, so that requires 120 a minute each, and what we're producing is 160. So this is not going to be a perfectly balanced recipe on this one because I didn't want to make a ton of it. I already think I'm making too much topaz. Yeah, I'm definitely making too much topaz. It's way too fast. But I did not want that for this soap. So what I'm going to try and do, let's see, if we're producing 80 and 80, it's going to give us 160 soap powder a minute. Yep. So this, right now we need 1 more of these. Let me build 1, let's copy this one. Hit F, and then place this down. So this should feed 4 of these soap machines. I don't know if that's going to be too much. It probably will be, but once it fills up a box, the machines will all slow down and stop producing. And the only thing I need to figure out is my fuel. I just left these belts here so that I remember that the fuel is going to come in from the side. So we're going to get our plant ash come in. It's going to need fuel to burn it in crucibles, and then that's going to come out and feed into these. We'll need to connect pipes for these. To get our linseed oil in, and then linseed oil right here. This is going to require quite a lot of linseed oil, and I did not calculate the numbers on this to see if we're actually making enough. What were we making, like 360 a minute up there? And that's 16 and 16 is 32, 32 is 64, plus 3 of these is, yeah, that's... I don't know, it's like less than 200,000, so we're good. We're good. We got plenty of linseed oil to feed this. All right, so let's just set all this up, snap in all the belts, figure out where all the pipes need to go in. If I could, I would like to dial in the pipes to run down 1 line, so have the pipes all coming in on 1 line. So I'd line all these up so that the pipes match, and that would probably give us the cleanest look. Oh yeah, I think this is going to look nice when it's all done. Yep, right there. Now we just drop in these pipes to the bottom for each one of these blenders. We're just about done here. Snap that in. Snap that in. And now that's going to be our soap powder coming in. Let me look at this. Is everything running? Oh, I forgot to connect the fuel. So we need our fuel to come in right here. Output from there. Like that. Copy that one. Drop it in between these 2 machines right here. And then we just run our belt to the fuel. Fuel lines input right there. Like that. And now this should be up and running. And we just need our final inputs here. And I probably could have come up with a clever way of placing these. It's going to take our lavender oil from these, the outputs from here. I wonder if I could get them actually right here? I actually goofed on the math on this. This is not going to be quite right. I made a little mistake, and I'll have to correct this before the next episode. But this is actually only going to fully feed 3 of these blenders. I got my numbers a little bit wrong here, because each of these is 120, and I think I just punched in the wrong number in my calculator, but it's fine. So we're essentially going to just drop one of these so that it runs at full speed all the time. I think that'd be better than trying to run 4 at not full speed, if that makes sense. So although 4 would be easier, we could probably actually, if we did it like this, what if we're running 4 of them, dang it, I deleted them. We could actually snap them in, like, right here. 1 for each machine, and they're not going to run at 100%, but it's kind of nice, actually. Now, can we run our lavender oil over? We're going to be overproducing the lavender oil, too, but that's all right. We will go back and adjust our numbers. I was just not thinking correctly on this. Let's tuck this pipe in back here. And then we just need to turn it this way. Down to there. Hit T to drop it in. Come on, get in the right spot. That's not where I want you. Like that. Oh, yeah. Like that. 2 more. Boom. All right. Set our recipe here for our perfumed soap. I feel like we got a lot accomplished today. Oh, let me copy that, paste that. I feel like we got a lot accomplished. Sorry if this episode is a little bit long, but that is our perfumed soap. Let's just put down, how much are we going to be making? Like, not quite, like 20 a minute on each of these, 20, 40, 60, 80. So that will fit in 1 belt on 1 box very easily. I'm just going to put down a storage box, like somewhere in the middle. Like that. We'll drop this stuff down into a belt. Actually, yeah, we'll do it like that. Copy them all, paste them all. Move this box back just a bit. Nope. I gotta destroy it because I don't have enough materials. And we'll snap the belts in like this. Don't really want those 2 touching. Yeah, like that. And now I can delete these 2. And then finally, put down my storage box and change it to, this is going to be the soap, so I actually would want this like a purple color, right? Something's not working. What did I mess up? Oh, I don't have fuel connected. Dang it, Jimmy, you forgot fuel right here. That's okay, we can just copy the fuel line from this. And we just drop it in right here. That's why I leave spaces in between most of my builds like that, because I have a tendency to goof. And now we just feed this with fuel, and we're done. Boom. That's it. Now our machine's up and running. All right. We're going to get our lavender soap in here. Look at this. This box is full of topaz already. Like, it's full. I'm going to grab a couple of them, take them downstairs to sell them. Our lavender soap should not take long to fill up either. It's not going to be quite at 100% efficiency. I'll have to revisit this recipe. I definitely goofed on my numbers, but I think overall it looks pretty nice. It's compact. It's a decent build. It's not a perfectly balanced, but it's close enough. That's going to wrap up this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, be sure and subscribe so you don't miss a future episode. Hit the thumbs up button if you like this video. Lets me know you enjoy the content and you'd like to see more. And we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.